Welcome back to the Us vs. Them channel. I'm your host Vince, and we're going to break down the next fight for the UFC fight this weekend, UFC 320. Super excited about. Not quite as excited about this fight, though, I got to tell you. We got Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos. Right now, Chiasson is sitting at a minus 200 favorite, and Santos is at plus 154 underdog. When I was breaking down Chiasson's fights, I saw that she has pretty clean, crisp striking. She has nice kicks to the body. She's got a 5'11 frame, so she can use that range a little really well. I think she can even fight behind her long strikes even a little bit better. Extend her range a little bit more. But she, with a frame like that at 135, you're gonna have a natural advantage in the striking, or at least in the reach. So she's got a longer reach. She's gonna have a 3.5-inch reach here. I don't know if I fully expect her to use it. Both girls. Yana Santos fights well at range, probably better, but obviously she's got a smaller frame. She's only 5'6", so she's going to have a 5-inch disadvantage in the height and a 4-inch disadvantage in the reach. But like I said, Chiasson, decent striking. The one thing I noticed about her though is she doesn't really have a lot of power. There's really, at least on her feet. We've seen in the past when it gets to the ground and pound, she can land some damage there. But as far as striking on her feet, she doesn't carry a lot of power even early in the fight. And as the fight goes on, everybody gets tired. Every single fighter in the UFC and MMA in general, they hit harder than they do in round 1 than they do in round 3. That's just the facts. So Chiasson, like I said, with her not kind of having a power issue just because of her long frame, once you get to rounds 2 or even especially in round 3, her punches almost look labored. It's because she's trying to put something behind it. She doesn't want to throw straight pop shots because there's almost no pop in those shots. Santos, on the other hand, kind of has the exact opposite, where she's definitely really snappy and powerful in her striking. She'll probably carry a speed advantage as well as having a power advantage on her feet. But, her power does definitely fade away when it comes to rounds 2 and rounds 3. I think she'll have a power and speed advantage probably throughout the entire fight, but just like Chiasson, we're going to watch that fade as we get later into the fight. Chiasson will have definitely an advantage, I believe, in the grappling. She's got more of a grappling background, whereas Santos has a striking background. Chiasson uses her body lock takedowns really nicely, but what I've noticed when it comes to her double leg takedowns, she kind of struggles with those. I have seen her find success in the double leg takedowns, but if she times them really well, she can score them. But that 5'11 frame is going to work to her disadvantage in that regard. Just because for her level change, she's got to get down much lower, which obviously you're going to start telegraphing that at some point because of how far she has to drop down to get her hips in position to actually score those double leg takedowns. So I do believe that's something Santos should be able to defend as long as she has the vision for it and doesn't kind of walk right into a double leg takedown. I also wonder about Chiasson's ability to actually get the body lock takedown. Because Santos, we have seen in past fights with her that she does like to work the clinch and against the cage and kind of pummel inside and try to find some knees up the middle. She's going to have a strength advantage overall in this fight. So the strength advantage is definitely going to help when you're pummeling against somebody that's weaker than you, really. To be honest with you, I have seen Santos find success in putting girls against the cage and kind of out pummeling them, but she doesn't really seem like she's that good at it, to be honest with you. I think she's just really powerful. I think Chiasson's probably going to know that she needs to pummel inside if she does find her back against the cage. And if she pummels and gets that arm underneath and gets a body lock takedown, she has potential to be able to score takedowns there. That just makes me wonder, though, is she going to have the strength to be able to do that? Because I know she'll have the knowledge. There's some X factors in this fight that definitely it's kind of hard to predict. The first is Chiasson being a really durable fighter. We have seen in the past where she's dropped the first round, kind of got beaten up the first round, and then came back and had a good showing in the second and later in the fight. We saw that against Mayra Bueno Silva. Mayra definitely won the first round, kind of dominated the first round. And then we watched Chiasson battle back with her grittiness and her toughness throughout the rest of the fight and get a decision win on that one, which is obviously a decent win. We also saw that in the Irina Adana fight. She got absolutely dominated the first round. And second round, she came back, fought smart, and won that round too. She leans on the grappling in those round twos to get the the advantage because she tries the striking and it's not going her way. All right, let's change game plans. Let's go to the grappling, and there's where she finds her success. So in order to beat her, you have to obviously be pretty gritty and pretty tough, but you also have to be better than her at both disciplines as far as grappling and striking. Because if she's not getting her way at the striking, she's going to switch to the grappling. An X factor with with Santos is, she can be really inconsistent in her fighting for sure. She's had really inconsistent performances in the past. When she got signed in the UFC, she obviously had a lot of hype because they gave her a title fight in her debut fight against Cyborg. She got knocked out in the first round in that fight, and then kind of had been win-loss ever since. I did find out that she was actually pregnant during part of that time in her career, and I don't know fuck all about none of that, and this is not a pregnancy channel at all or nothing. But I just know that if you have a baby and you're a professional, athlete as a female, that's gonna affect you for sure. She had about over a 2-year period where she didn't fight at all, and came back and had some of her worst performances in her career following the birth of her daughter. One of those being Holly Holm's fight. I know she gets a lot of shit for that Holly Holm fight. I remember watching that and thinking she was not good at fighting without having the knowledge that she did just give birth only 11 months before. She also fought Carol Rosa like 14 months after giving birth to her daughter. After those two kind of disappointing performances, she has rattled off a couple wins. She beat Chelsea Chandler and her comeback fight a little bit, and then she did score a win over Miesha Tate. She did look pretty solid in the Chandler fight, but I was pretty underwhelmed with the Miesha Tate fight as well. I think at this point in her career, Miesha Tate is not a tough out in this division. It's kind of a girl that you should probably dominate a little bit at this point, and we just didn't see that from Santos. For my official prediction, I'm going to go with Chiasson on this one. I do believe her grittiness and her toughness is what's going to make a difference in this fight. She has battled back and won after dropping around before, done that a couple times, so there'll be nothing new. I can totally see that happening again this weekend, to be honest with you. I can see her trying to lean on the striking, realize that maybe she's a little bit outgunned in the striking, and then all of a sudden mixed into the grappling. I do wonder if she's going to be able to get the fight to the ground, but I do believe that she's eventually going to be able to find it, because Santos, although she is strong and she can pummel inside, she has shown that she doesn't have the best takedown defense. So Chiasson could surprise the hell out of me and land a double leg takedown early in the fight and just completely control her. If this fight gets to the ground, I'm definitely favoring Chiasson. So I'm going to go with Chiasson on this one by decision. That's the breakdown for this one. Thank God this is the last female fight we have to do for this card. I'm not the greatest at picking female fights. I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this one, to be honest with you. So I do believe that there is not a lot of value in this line right now. It's probably one we should stay away from in the parlays. But stay tuned for our next video where we'll be breaking down Daniel Santos versus Jo Song Yu. I'm super excited to get in that fight and break it down and give you guys the best pick possible for it. If you guys can, like and subscribe to the video or to the channel. We really appreciate that. That's what keeps us going. And that's all I got. I'm fucking out of here.